Okay, so we are in a shorter part of Matthew 22, and starts in verse 15. Then the Pharisees went out and laid plans to trap him in his words. They sent their disciples to him along with the Herodians. Now, the Herodians were supporters of Herod. Um, this was the Herod Antipas. Yes, that's how you say it, I think. So they were supporters of Herod Antipas's family, and normally they would have been at odds with the Pharisees, but the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So the two of them come together and they're trying to trap. So this is an unlikely alliance, hoping that they can also alienate some more groups from Jesus. The more we can try to stir up. I mean, you see this even right now. You get a lot of stirring up and polarizing of groups and making people kind of, well, I don't agree with him because of this reason. I don't agree with him for this reason. I don't agree with him for this reason. You get more of that, then maybe you can weaken that person's um, ability to influence others and to get people to side with them. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to weaken Jesus's influence. So the Herodians say, Teacher, they said, we know you are a man of integrity and that you teach the way of God in accordance with the truth. You aren't swayed by men because you pay no attention to who they are. Tell us then, what is your opinion? Is it right to pay taxes to Caesar or not? Now, this taxes that they're talking about is the civil poll tax, the census. But Jesus, knowing their evil intent, said, You hypocrites, why are you trying to trap me? Show me the coin used for paying the tax. They brought him a denarius, and he asked them, Whose portrait is this, and whose inscription? Caesar's, they replied. Then he said to them, Give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's. When they heard this, they were amazed, so they left him and went away. Now we know a denarius is a 1 day's wage of work. Um, so in Romans 13, 1 through 7, 1 Peter 2, 13 through 17, there is a discussion as to how we are to operate and respect authority, even though it's oppressive authority, because these people were dealing with an oppressive government. We know that many were being killed for their faith. It's when we had the Colosseum, and the Christians were being killed in the Colosseum with being let out into the gladiators and all this other stuff that was going on this time. They were being killed and mauled by beasts. So it was a horrible time by a very oppressive government. And so this is being discussed, actually, how to live under that. And Jesus, they're in an oppressive government right now, even at the time of Jesus. But even in that, he's saying you respect the authority, the governing authority. You also can pray for them. And there's still a responsibility to fight for righteousness to rule again. But a little note here, and again, this is just a small part, so we won't get super deep and long into this one at all. But to leave the final thought is, he says that he's talking about the tax, and if you're supposed to pay the tax, then you give to Caesar what is Caesar's, because that's what's on the coin that you're paying the tax to. So therefore, does that mean you give anything to God? Because there's not any money necessarily with him on it. But what bears the image of God? We do. We bear the image of God. So we give to God what is God's. We give him all of ourselves. Just like the denarius had Caesar's face on it, the image of Caesar, and they were to give that denarius to Caesar. Well, we bear the image of God, so we give ourselves fully to God on a daily basis. And that is what he's saying here. So let's pick up tomorrow in verse 23 as they question him about something else.